Hi, my name is Jonathan Winker, and today I will be explaining how to string a tennis racket. So, have you ever thought to yourself, how are tennis strings installed in a tennis racket, or how can somebody hit a tennis ball over 100 miles per hour? Well, today we're going to be answering those questions. So, we're going to be using a racket stringer. And what the racket stringer really does is just creates tension on the string. And tension refers to how far and hard the string is being pulled. With tennis rackets, a higher tension results in higher control, while a lower tension results in more power. And you can think of low tension as more like a trampoline, which that would explain why there's more power when you have a low tension. So in order to string, you're going to need a racket stringer that comes with tools, a racket, and also string. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to put the racket inside of those two pegs. You'll see that those two pegs are centered. And then you'll also see that we need to move the one bar that contains the peg on the top of the racket. We're going to move that farther down towards the edge of the racket so that it's tight. And then we'll just use that Allen wrench that was just shown. And then we're going to put on these little guards. They just plop on and you just screw them on. And you'll do it on both sides of it. And you'll just want to make sure these are fairly tight, so just tighten them as hard as you can. And so now we're going to get the string ready. We take off the plastic clip that's around the string, and then we unravel it. And now we're going to count how much string we need for 1/2 of the vertical strings. So as you'll see, there's 1 times the racket, there's 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and measure off 4.5 times. So take that end of the string and you're gonna go to the left of center hole, take it up to the top of the racket at the corresponding hole. It runs parallel, so it's really easy to keep track of. And then you're going to clamp it so that you don't lose that point that we measured off earlier. So now we're going to grab the other end of the string and pull it through the right of center hole, and then go through the corresponding right of center hole at the top. And so it will run parallel, and we're going to pull that string through. So now that we have both ends pulled through, we're going to clamp it right in the middle so that we don't lose that point, and that will give us a good base so that we can start tensioning. So when we're first ready to tension our first string, we're going to turn the knob so that the part or the slot where the string needs to go in is at the top. And so we also have to bring the cross bar that has the weight on it that will bring that tension. You have to bring that up. Okay, turn the wheel, and then you're going to feed that string in, and you go through that slot, and then you hold that as it goes down, and then crank it up. I have to crank it a couple times, and you're going to want that bar to be about level, which as you can see it is. Then you're going to get a clamp and clamp that down so that you don't lose that new tension, and then you'll release and go on with the next. So once you have done all the vertical strings, you're going to be at the end, and you're going to have to tie off one of the sides. And in order to do a knot, all we do is we go under the string. You're going to pull that through and pull it up through that existing hole. Okay, you can pull it a little bit, and then you're going to go through that loop one more time from the back side. So just like that, and then you can just pull that and it will tighten. So the next thing after this is that you're going to start doing the crosses. So those run perpendicular to the mains, and as you can see, forms grid-like pattern. And so really the only thing that's hard about weaving is that you have to go up, then down, and then up, and down, and then tension it off, go back the other way, and it should be the opposite order of the row you just did. So if you just went up, down, up, you would go down, up, down. And once you've gone all the way to the top of the racket,
you'll realize that there are no more holes to do because you're almost done with the racket. And so similar to before, all you're going to have to do is tie another knot, and then once you get that knot done, you just have to take the pliers and pull pretty hard to make sure that knot's not going to go anywhere. That way you don't lose any tension. If you do not fully tighten that knot, chances are over time your racket will lose tension, and if your racket loses tension, you're not going to be able to play as well. You won't be able to hit the ball as hard to a certain extent, and so you just want to make sure you do that right. As soon as you've got that knot tightened, what we're going to do is take off the clamps, and then you're just going to cut off that excess string. Make sure you don't cut yourself or cut the string in there because that would hurt. So now you should be able to know how to string a tennis racket using a racket stringer, a racket, and string. Thank you for your time and good luck stringing.